Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss Brachistochrone problem. This is our first variational problem which we solve with the help of Euler equation. So this is proposed by Johann Bernoulli. So Johann Bernoulli proposed this problem of Brachistochrone, which is an ancient Greek word that is stand for shortest time. So he posted this problem to the reader of a scientific paper that is named Acta Eruditum, Latin word for that stand for Act of Erudite. In June 1696, he posted this on this scientific paper to all the mathematicians of the worldwide to solve this problem. The first one that solved this problem was his own brother named Jacob Bernoulli. He solved this problem in a 2 week, and there is an interesting story behind this problem. You can see that in a Wikipedia, but we will not get into that, but we will just see a simple proof of what is Brachistochrone curve and how to solve this problem. So the Brachista problem was something like that is given a 2 point A and B in a vertical plane. What is the curve traced out by a point acted on only by the gravity? It's a frictionless, which start at A and reach the point B in a shortest time. So we have to find out the point, the curve joining these 2 points A and B, from which the particle can slide down influence of the gravity with the shortest time, and it is turned out, which we will prove in a minute, that the curve is actually cycloid. You can see, if I play the video, the red curve is the fastest one and it's a cycloid. So let's prove the problem. To prove the problem, let us suppose my point A is actually at the origin. So this is my point A and here it is my point B. So the coordinate of A are x1, y1, which in this case it is origin, so it's 0, 0, and the point B is x2, y2. And let us suppose at any time the particle is at some point x, v, y. So what is the conservation of energy says is that the kinetic energy plus potential energy at equal at the every point on the curve will be same. So this is a conservation of energy because the system is isolated, and what we have to do is to choose a path for which the time is minimized. It means the integration of dt is minimized. So let us suppose the particle is at some point x, y, and what we reference is that the particle is at point x, y, then it has some kind of kinetic energy and some potential energy. If we let that the potential energy at point x, y, x1, y1, which is basically this line, at x-axis is potential energy is 0, then at point x, y the potential energy will be mg times minus y. So the potential energy will be minus mgy, and the kinetic energy given by half mv square, which is half m dx over dt square. So what the conservation of energy says, because at the starting time on a curve there is no extra kinetic energy that you are given, it's a free fall problem. So the kinetic energy is 0, also the potential energy, so initial energy is 0. So what we have, energy conservation says that half mv square minus mgy is equals to 0. That gives us v is equals to under root 2gy. The integral which we want to minimize is integration dt, which is a time taken to slide down, and that is given by the distance traveled small distance traveled ds divided by whatever the velocity was, that is we found out under root 2 gy. ds, which is basically the curve length, ds is small segment. Let us suppose this is some segment ds, then we know that the segment is given by under root 1 plus y prime square into dx. If you do that, you get under root 2 gy. Now the integration is on the dx, so limit will be of the x, that is from x1 to x2. We have function like under root 1 plus y prime square divided by under root y. So our functional will be given by 1 over root 2g integration from x1 to x2 under root 1 plus y prime square divided by under root y dx. So this is our functional. Now we have to use the Euler-Lagrange equation to find the extremal. So we know that the given functional have the special case where functional does not depend on x. So we see in the last lesson, when the function does not depend on x, we can rewrite the Euler function, Euler equation in the following form, that is f minus y prime, f sub y prime is equals to constant. So we just reduce. One can solve the Euler equation and you get the same answer. Now I put the value of f y prime and f sub y prime, which is a partial derivative of f with respect to y prime, and when you do that little bit of calculation, you get the following equation, that is 1 over under root y under root 1 plus y prime square is equals to constant. This is a differential equation of the order 1 and degree 2, and you have to solve this equation. One thing I want to do is to write this equation not in a y prime, which is dy over dx, but in a x prime, which is dx over dy. So if you take a common from the denominator, this is dy over dx, I can common dx, and what I get is x prime divided by under root y under root x prime square plus 1, because I can write y prime as 1 over x prime. When you do that, you get the following, and I write the constant capital C as under root c, because that does not matter, constant is a constant. Solve this equation for x prime, you get x prime is equals to under root c into y divided by 1 minus cy. Now this is a simple integration. To solve this integration, we can let that cy is equals to sine square theta by 2, where theta is some another parameter, that is equals to 1 over 2 1 minus cos theta. We use the formula of cos 2 theta in term of sin theta, that is 1 minus 2 sine square theta. Now I have to write the same differential equation in the form of theta. So I found out what is my dx is. So dx is turned out to be 1 over 2c 1 minus cos theta, and there is a d theta 2, and you can integrate both hand side. So on the left hand side you get x, on the right hand side you get theta minus sine theta plus c prime, and similarly for you can solve for y prime and you get the same kind of differential equation. Now I write the boundary conditions. I have two boundary conditions, but I have no, the first one boundary condition is that x is equals to y is equals to 0. Give you the value c prime. So I fixed my first point x1 and y1 at t is equals to 0 to be 0, and when you do that you get the following two curve, that is x is equals to 1 over 2c theta minus sine theta, and y is equals to, that is a equation in x and y as a parameter theta. The second constant c can be found with the help of second boundary condition by taking what is the point x2 comma y2. So this what we have to do is now is to show that this is indeed the equation of cycloid. So let's do that. So we know that what is a cycloid is that we have a wheel, we have a circle of a radius a, that we can imagine it as a wheel, and when this wheel goes around there is a surface, and when this wheel roll over, a point trace out a curve. You can see in the following figure, the point that trace out the figure is called cycloid, whatever the curve the point trace out. So you have to prove that the equation of the cycloid is indeed the following form: x is equals to 1/2c theta minus sin theta, and the following. So let us imagine the circle of the form of the radius a, and let us suppose that in an initial condition the circle is at rest and at point origin O. So the bottom of the circle is at the origin. After some time the wheel roll over, and the same point O is now at the point P. Let me zoom out so that this, okay, so after some time when this roll over, the point O goes to point P. So the distance OA and distance AP is same. Now the angle between P and the center is theta and the radius is A. Now you can see from the figure that the distance x, that is the coordinate of the P, is OA minus PB. That is clear from the figure. The distance OA is equals to PA, and PA is equals to A theta, because angle is equals to arc divided by radius. So x is equals to A theta, and PB is equals to, we know that sin theta is equals to PB divided by PC. So PC is basically the radius, and what you get as a PB is A sin theta. So you get the coordinate of P to be A times theta minus sin theta. In a similar way, you can find out what is y. In this case, it is AB. The coordinate of P is x comma y, so y is in this case PB, because this point, and AB is equals to AC minus BC. You can see from the figure that AC is equals to AB is equals to AC minus BC. Now AC is equals to the radius, and that is A, and BC from the triangle PBC, it is clear that cos theta is equals to BC divided by PC, and PC is basically the radius, so BC is equals to A cos theta. And when you do that, you get y is equals to A times 1 minus cos theta, and that is indeed the parametric form of the cycloid that we seen earlier in our proof. In place of A, we have 1/2c that can be determined from the boundary condition. So in this way you can show that the parametric form of a cycloid. So that was all for today's lecture. See you in the next video.